We're live! What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a super great day, ready to take on the world. We're about to hit 1,000 registered nurses in this very group. So exciting. Let's go. It's been such a fun journey. If we haven't met before, my name is Ryan Clark. I am, as you can see by the tag somewhere, I think this is mirrored. I'm the owner and head coach of RM Body Transformation. And I want to come at you with a quick video today that is very timely. In 10 minutes, I want to show you, here it comes. Where is it? Bam! Why the scale not moving is one of the best things that can happen to you. I feel like if you've consumed any of my content, you know this idea that the results of weight loss aren't hard. It's the science of weight loss. You know, I've helped so many people lose 30 pounds in 6 weeks in my early career, but the issue is that 97% of the time, those people will gain it back. So really, it's all about the psychology of weight loss. So if as long as you can manage your emotional state and you can create a plan that is aligned with that, playing an infinite game, you win forever. So why the scale not moving is the best thing that can happen to you. This will help you be able to have a new perspective so that you have less negative emotions surrounding when the scale doesn't move, which will allow you to stay the course longer. Let's go. And no, I'm not trying to brainwash you, and I'm not insane. This explanation is based in science, and when you accept it, it'll make your sustainable weight loss journey so much easier. So the question is, how many times have you done everything right, or even 80% right, hopped on the scale and seen no change, and you're kind of like, what the heck? Leaving you feeling defeated and saying, what's the point? Why am I even doing this? Well, there's one other thing that you have to consider, and that is, how do your clothes fit? You see, your weight is made up of 4 parts. You have water, muscle, fat, and bone. If your clothes are fitting better and your weight is staying the same, that is even better than your weight going down and your clothes fitting better. Now, before you try to burn me like a witch for heresy, let me explain, and I promise it's based in good reason. So there's only 4 things, like we just said, that are in your body that can reduce weight mainly. Of course, there's food and your digestive tract and all that stuff, but mainly these 4 things for the sake of argument. Fat is the least dense. It takes up the most space out of the 4 things, right? And if your clothes are fitting better and your weight didn't move, it means that the only logical explanation is that you're gaining lean body mass and you're losing fat mass. That is the only way your clothes can be fitting better and your weight did not go down on the scale. So what that means is essentially those 3 pieces over here, lean body mass has gone up. So that's water weight, bone, or muscle. And that means fat mass has gone down. So essentially you've traded 2 pounds of fat for 2 pounds of muscle. I don't want to call it 2 pounds of muscle because it's not, but 2 pounds of fat for 2 pounds of lean body mass, 2 pounds of fat mass for 2 pounds of lean body mass. Now, a lot of people, I don't know why, but they think water retention is bad. It's not. We've all heard your brain's 75% water, your body's 60% water. There's been studies, actually, I listened to one recently, and I'm terrible. I hate saying studies without where they're cited from, but I can't remember. But pretty much, they did a test with, it was 2 sets of men, and they would drive, one being optimally hydrated and one being mildly dehydrated. So essentially a body weight loss of about 1 to 2%. The people who were mildly dehydrated made double the amount of mistakes while driving than the people who were optimally hydrated. Wow. So it's like hydration, we all know how important hydration is, but it's like we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. And I'll say that being hydrated is so crucially important to your well-being and just how you feel. So you should be aiming to increase your lean body mass, meaning that if you add water weight, that is good. Your body needs water to function optimally. You should not aim to lose water weight. Like this whole idea of diuretics and like leaning out with like reducing your water should never be done for health reasons, right? If you're stepping on a bodybuilding stage, a little bit different, but we're not, right? So if you add bone weight over time, this doesn't happen overnight, or bone density, right? And most likely it's super slow. It's way even slower than building muscle. Your body will be more resilient to breaks in the future, which is also what you want, especially, right? We work with women between the ages of 35 and 59 mainly, but I also have clients that are in their 60s and 70s. This becomes increasingly important as you get older. And if you add muscle weight, that's great because your body will increase its resting metabolic rate and burn more calories through movement. Think of it like the engine in a car. If you are a Prius, that means that when you run a mile, you're going to burn a certain amount of calories. Call it, I don't want to give you wrong numbers, but let's just call it 300 calories. It's probably too high, 200 calories. That's even probably too high, but let's just say 200 calories. If you're a Ferrari, you go a mile and what happens? Well, you're going to burn a lot more because that gallon is used up faster, right? And that happens the more muscle that you have as well, which is what we want. And you might be thinking as well, that's great, but what, but will I keep losing weight eventually? Because I don't just want to be doing this forever and get bulky. It's impossible, right? There is an upper limit. And actually, let me just, let me take these really quick because I actually added a couple more slides and I just want to make sure that it's actually added in. I want to give you guys the best that I got. It's going to take a second to process, but of course there's this fear that, oh my gosh, my weight's going to stay the same forever and I'm going to get bulky. And that's just not possible. It's not going to happen simply because there's an upper limit to how much lean body mass you can add, right? Your body, once it's hydrated, even if it's hyperhydrated, right? You can only add so much water. Bone, same thing, right? I mean, bone density. And then water, bone, muscle. Did we talk about that? Yeah. And then muscle, same thing, right? Like a lot of people are afraid of getting bulky by weight training. You will not get bulky. Your hormones don't support it. Like I have been working out for 17 years and like, I'm not crazy big, right? And I lift heavy and high volume, but I mean, I'm in shape, but like you won't get like that being a woman, right? You just don't have the hormones for it. And that's okay because a lot of people don't want to be like that. So let's skip all the way ahead back to where we were. Like we were just saying, there's an upper limit to how much lean body mass you can add. Once you hit that, you will lose weight based on your caloric deficit. Just so we're on the same page, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So for you to burn 1 pound of fat, that's the key word, of fat per week, you need to burn 500 extra calories a day or have a caloric deficit of 500 calories a day. Now you might say, well, I've lost 3 pounds in a week. Well, is it 3 pounds of fat? Or is some of it water? Is some of it muscle because you're not eating enough protein to do resistance training, right? Don't use the scale as your primary measure for your progress. It is a painful journey and a wrong one, to be honest. What will help you so much more is following the idea of how your clothes are fitting. Guaranteed. So if your goal is to lose 2 pounds of fat per week, you would need a caloric deficit of 1,000 per day, which is way too much. So realistically, of fat, you should be aiming to lose at most like 1 to 1.5 pounds a week without passing out per day, right? Even like, because you think about it, with your activities of daily living and your exercise and your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories you burn at rest, you're probably going to be burning like 2,000 calories a day. So imagine eating 1,000 calories per day. That's a lot. That's a lot of reduction, That's painful. That's not very sustainable, right? So my recommendation is whatever you're going to do to lose weight, do the same thing to maintain so that when you do get to maintenance, you can increase your calories and maintain it very easily. Awesome. The most important thing is staying the course and getting perspective so you don't have an emotional downswing. So what do I do if the scale is not going down and my clothes aren't fitting better? Science answer, increase your caloric deficit, which that's it. That's all you got to do. And I know a lot of people want to say like, oh, it's my hormones and it's this and it's that. Look, the physiology of weight loss does not change because of variables that are slowing you down. What I mean is there, generally speaking, is no variable that will be as powerful as increasing your caloric deficit. What I mean, age. So as you age, you lose muscle, you have a lower basal metabolic rate, and it, yes, technically is, quote, harder to lose weight, lose fat. But that's just a variable and a factor. You still need a caloric deficit. Hormones, perimenopausal, PCOS, whatever it is, we still need to have a caloric deficit. And even if it reduces your progress by, let's say, 20% or 30%, you still need a caloric deficit, right? So you can still get results. They just might be slightly slower, and that's okay. Because let's be real, if you could lose weight and sustain it forever, who cares if it takes 6 months or 9 months? I mean, like, it depends on what game you're playing. If you're playing a finite game, the difference between 6 months and 9 months is huge. It's 50% more. But if you zoom out and you focus on the rest of your life and you say, well, I'm going to maintain this for the next 30 years. So yeah, who cares if it's an extra few months? That's the mindset you need to be in. That's the mindset that my clients who are super successful with this get into. And I made this as a shout out to Amy. If you guys don't know Amy, boy, you've been under a rock. No, she's super awesome. She's been a client of mine now for just about 16 weeks, and she is crushing it. She is just like, one, such an amazing human being, but also she recently came back from vacation and did everything right. She crushed it. Like, I'm talking like, macros were right where she needed to be. She didn't feel deprived. Things were great. She was on the beach. She was 3 pounds up when she came back. And you can imagine the feeling of, discouragement that she had. But when we looked at all the variables, we were able to identify that, oh my gosh, you drank more water when you were away. And you didn't she moved, but she drank more water, probably to the tune of like 40 to 50 extra ounces a day. When you do the math, you realize, oh my gosh, that's her 3 pounds. She didn't gain weight at all. Or I'm sorry, she gained weight. She didn't gain fat at all. Here's the best part. This whole past week for her, that she's been up 3 pounds, she's been so productive at work. She's been clear-headed. She's felt amazing at work. She was mildly dehydrated before she went on vacation. So sometimes, again, this scale thing is a liar. It does not tell you everything. If you had a scale that could break down these 4 elements of bone, muscle, fat, bone, muscle, water, and fat, there we go, then you could jump on the scale. But if it's going to group everything together, don't give yourself the heartache, because there's so much more. And look, it's easy to say, but like, in my opinion, just get rid of your scale. Because even though I've been doing this for 15 years and I know that so strongly intellectually, even when I do a cut and I'm trying to get leaner and I get on the scale, I still feel it emotionally. And I know this stuff, forward, backwards, sideways, upside down, whatever. And I've helped so many people through it. My advice, use the scale as a tool, which means at most use it once a month to be able to just see that progress ticking down. Use something a lot more consistent or congruent with your goal, which is going to be how your clothes fit. And then use other things to quantify. Hey, how stressed are you on a scale of 1 to 10, right? How much energy do you feel? These are the things that actually matter. Because at the end of the day, why are you trying to lose the weight? It's so that you can have more energy and confidence and all that good stuff. So why don't you track that? And why don't you track your actions, And this is starting to get more into the positive feedback loops and stuff. But we'll end it here. Hopefully this has been beneficial to you. If there's anything that I can instill in you, it's this idea that if you're looking to really make this the last time you're ever going to lose weight, whether you're working with us on a one-on-one basis or not, this group is here for you. It's that if you're looking to do something you've never done before, you're probably going to have to do something you've never done before, right? Meaning, if you've never lost weight and sustained it forever, but you've lost weight in the past, the things that you probably did in the past probably aren't the same things that you need to do to sustain. From the science side, it is. Caloric deficit, exercise, sleep, water intake, all that good stuff. But the psychology is probably missing. And that's the stuff that actually makes it sustainable. So I wish you the best. Check out my other videos if you need more help. And of course, I'm always available. You shoot me a message or comment below. Remember, The best is yet to come. I truly believe that, not only for myself, but for you guys and the whole community we're building here. If you need anything, let me know, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye.